Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. A couple of names you've been seeing a lot of, and that's because they keep on playing in big finals, big semi-finals of all of the online circuit. This is Dark, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He's up against Shopify Rebellion's Byun, going for the 2 Rax Reaper on the low ground. Don't see that every day. We've seen a lot of Command Center first on this map, though, so a lot of Zergs have stopped building Zerglings on this map. I think Byun might be trying to catch that off guard, where the Overlord comes in, sees no barracks, and he's like, oh, are you just going CC first up here? So if he's lucky, Dark curves the Overlord north, doesn't even realize he's getting double Rax Reapered, skips Zerglings, and loses a few drones right from the start. That would be a delicious opening if it works out. And he's going 3 Rax Reaper even. He's doing the super committed version. Ooh, this is going to be very interesting. Now, this is the Good Game Cup number 30 finals. Shout out to Alpha Rex. If you guys want to get these replays, go and support their Patreon. We should chuck a little link down below in the description, but otherwise you could just Google Alpha Rex Patreon, just in case I forget to do that in the editing process. Sometimes I say, oh, I'll put the link below, and I get muddled up because I record a lot of things at once and sometimes forget some details. But yeah, their Patreon's great. You can get amazing replays on there of so many tournaments and support a fantastic team at the same time. Now, Overlord comes in. Okay, he curves to the bottom. He saw that SCV coming back from down there. He's going to see what's up, and Dark indeed has skipped Zerglings. Time to build Zerglings, bro. He starts a Queen, 4 Zerglings. He's already gone 3rd hatch. He's playing the gasless build. Oh, I forgot. Byun killed Ragnarok on Moondance with this, because Ragnarok, a lot of these bases, maps with an inside base, players have been doing a gasless 3 hatch build, and Byun can kill it with 3 Rax Reaper. Oh, this is really hard to defend because you're never getting link speed. You have to defend with just Queens and Spines, and the Reapers can just jump into the main. I really think this is going to be so difficult to defend. It's not a complete all-in, but it is a massive commitment from Byun. If Dark defends this, he's going to teach us something, because Ragnarok could not survive in this exact same position. Now, I'd like to see that one healthy Reaper probably go right back in, but you've got to leave the other Reaper to heal. Of course, Dark's focus fire is way too good. And Inject goes down, Spinecrawler in the back. I think he'll need a Spine in the main as well, to be honest. But the problem for Dark is he thinks there's a Command Center. He doesn't know that there's a 3rd barracks. This Reaper count is going to spiral out of control. There's only 1 more Reaper building right now. Byun's got to keep up that macro. He starts the Command Center. There we go, 3 Reapers in production yet again. Depot's about to finish, so he will get unsupply blocked. Let's see how he goes. Reapers are going to dive in the main. Oh, that Reaper! Oh no! Ah! Ow! 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 Wow! Spine's gonna kill the. Oh! Okay. What do we got? Zergling goes down as well. Man, this is pretty good defense so far by Dark. The thing is, if those Reapers just jump up, they kill those 2 Queens right now before Transfuse is there. Byun, stop typing! Go kill him! You literally can win the game right now! Byun, there's only 2 Queens there. The Lings aren't even on the high ground. Dude, Byun, I think, is complaining there, being like, wow, Zerg's so broken. Dude, if he went up the ramp, there's no answer. That is like 6 Reapers. Don't attack the Spinecrawler. That's the silliest thing you could do. Oh, man. Okay, Byun, come on. Go to the high ground. He's taking too long, though. He lets his Reapers... Oh, what is he? Byun making a hot mess of this early game. I think this was a build order that he had to commit really hard to. People in chat calling me out for backseating. I 100% am backseating right now. Byun stopping to type and add some banter rather than actually finishing the job. I'm not saying you would 100% win the game. Obviously, if you get surrounded by Zerglings, it's bad. But with that many Reapers, you can jump 1 Reaper up, kill like half the Zerglings in the first volley, and make a way through. And I think he should have, if you're committing 3 breaks, I think he should have committed much further. Now, Dark is allowed to drone 3 hatcheries, and I think he's going to have a big issue. Marine pushes that Overlord back to the pillar. The pervert pillar, of course, a Marine's most hated area of the map. Does keep him safe from their Gauss rifle. I think a Gauss rifle is meant to be like a magnetically fired, right? That's like what a Gauss gun is, I think. Anyone knows the lore of the Gauss rifle, let me know. Imagine these pistols. Oh, they're Gauss pistols as well. I guess all of the guns are kind of like rail guns. They're all like magnetically fired. Don't really know what Gauss means, though. Failing Nest on the way. More and more drones. Sling speed only just started, dude. Dark's just defending the front with so many Queens, a Spine. He's at 30 workers, 24 workers ahead. I mean, Byun's like, I've only lost 1 Reaper, but it's like, yeah, But the problem is you let these queens get transfuse energy, and they just get way out of control at that point. Fourth hatchery goes down there as well. Third command center is finished for Byun, but essentially I feel like his first marine stim timing needs to find big damage, or the scaling is going to get too out of control for Dark's army, his production. He's building already a macro hatch and a fourth base, double evo chamber. Like, he's just so rich. The first pack of Marines needs to do a lot. The Reapers are doing a very good job of extracting a lot of energy out of these queens, so that shouldn't be understated. He's getting a lot of tumors, which of course forces Dark to put new ones down. Every time Dark puts a new tumor down, that's half a transfuse, and he's damaging the queens and forcing them to transfuse each other, which is also wasting Dark's energy. So this is setting up for the double drop a little bit, but Ling Bane is out in good numbers. He's building 20 Zerglings at a time. Ling speed's ready. Banelings are morphing as well. Only a few, but I don't think 16 Marines can get through unlimited numbers of Zerglings. +1 attack is done. Combat Shields is finished in about 23 seconds. Reapers are going to come down here. You don't want to get surrounded though. Ling speed's finished. He's going to quickly scramble to the top side. Queen's going to get some damage on the medevacs. Ling's trying to get some angle on this. A lot of Marines already out. Byun. Whoa, there's a spore. He knows he's going to lose one medevac, so he'll let some Marines die, save the last 8. Reapers are fighting pretty decently versus the Zerglings, but as the Zerglings swarm over, Dark's going to deal with those bad boys, and that is, of course, going to make things very good for him because he's still way up in workers. He's way up in army as well, and honestly, I feel like he could just smash Ling Bane into the other side of the map. He's got so much army. Byun trailing. This was a big gamble of an opening for him, and it did not pay off. Hydrogen and Bane speed start up. Fourth base getting some workers going on it as well. Marines moving over to that left side. Let's see. Medevac taking some damage, but doesn't actually go down just yet. I'm thinking about how you win this game, and yeah, Widow Mines seems like a possibility. Keep dropping, keep attacking, start spamming Widow Mines. It's not guaranteed to get you back in the game by any means, but it's got a chance. A few big Widow Mines, they could change things, especially if you do a few drops and land some big hits on the workers. 2-2 will be starting in a little bit. +2 attack starts for Byun. Probably Q +2 armor in a little bit, though he's a bit gas starved. And doesn't look like a Mega Turtle style if you're playing Widow Mines, though. Fourth command center starts interesting on the outside, not going for the interior command center. Bit more dangerous having that out here. Dark builds an infestation pit. He's got a 5th base. I feel like Dark could go aggressive, but he's kind of mix and matching right now. I think because his tech's a little behind, he's just playing very cautiously. I'd like to see some Ling Bane run-bys for him, though. I don't think Byun can defend and attack at the same time, so I think he's just going to go all aggression with full macro behind it and just hope there's no backstabs from Dark. And that could definitely pay off. He's already got Widow Mines hiding in the grass. Those are the big ones that can pay off because they surprise your opponent. Looking for the big boomies. The big boomies are a great thing. The booming 20s, of course, is that what it's called? The roaring 20s? The booming 20-kill Widow Mine is the Terran dream. Getting a few of those off would definitely help. But Hive's on the way, +2 melee. He did forget Carapace. He didn't have the gas for it, so Dark forgetting Carapace could definitely help Byun. Might get an upgrade advantage for a little bit. Ah, Marines! Oh, okay, saves most of them, but Widow Mine doesn't get a big hit. I mean, if Dark lets him max out without actually going to kill him, maybe. I mean, there's still no tanks on the defense, so there's really no great defender's advantage that you have if you have like a few tanks spread out behind the wall. It definitely feels like Dark, it's up to him. If he wants to go make a big smash into his opponent, he could do it. He has a giant army on the bottom that's just kind of chilling out, waiting for more pressure to come. Potentially doesn't realize just how far ahead he is in this game. And that hesitance could cause him trouble. Widowmine and Marine in the bottom. That Zergling's going to get down over there. Spot the 4th base, the Shopify Rebellion player. Byun's a good player. And he's definitely worked on his late game. A year ago, 2 years ago, I guess. It was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was always saying he's not that good at late game. He's a mid-game guy. He kind of has to be really aggressive. He really shored up that hole in his game. He definitely fixed that. And I do think he can definitely make comebacks. Dark is not the best at playing a patient, slow late game. But he's going Nidus Worm. He is adding Lurker Tech, even though it's incredibly late. Only starting it after his Hive finished. And he's building like spores and gases and things. I really feel like this is so uncharacteristic for Dark. It's because it's uncharted territory, doing such a greedy opening versus 3x Reaper. But he's maxed, and so is the Terran player. The Terran player's army is almost pure Marine Widowmine with some Marauders mixed in. Nidus Worm in the back door. What's he got in there, mate? He has a 7 Zergling crack squad, guys. I guess the crackling upgrade, the adrenal glands isn't there just yet. Byun's going for a big drop. Oh, he loses a full medevac to the Queens. This is a crazy move for Byun, and I don't think it's going to pay off. It's only a small Nidus Worm behind this. If Byun keeps his cool, maybe he can do some stuff, but he loses so many medevacs. And that was a pretty darn good trade there for Dark. The Lings in the main causing a distraction, but not too much else. Nice Biomine spreading in the south. If his Marauders can get up front and soak some of these Banelings, that'd be good. Oh, the Widowmine's hit. Nothing valuable. The medevac's too far behind. And another great cleanup for Dark. Dark shuts down attacks on both sides. The medevacs come back in. The Queens say, yum, yum. Dinner's coming back in. How often does your prey escape and then a few seconds later walk back into your lair? Well, the Queen's just got some Uber Eats Terran Marine delivery right there. That stuff just rolled right up to their house. Barely even needed to pay anything for it. And this Marine drop goes for that base. Byun's still got a good economy. So he's keeping the fighting on Dark side of the map. So even though these fights are amazing for Dark, they're literally positive. When Zerg is meant to be always at least a few thousand resources behind the unit's loss, the problem is he still hasn't addressed the Nidus Worm. He just seems to have forgotten about it. He's seen it, but he's forgotten about it. I mean, you could argue this is a trap. He wants to bait Dark into an inefficient fight. There's a whole army there. Marauders run down, Marauders run back. He types the GG. He's like, yeah, this doesn't feel good. There's an army in the back door of my base. And what a bizarre game. I gotta check that start real quickly. I really think he could have won with Mass Reaper, guys. All right, so guys, the Reapers kept attacking the spine here. Let's go back a little earlier even. Let's go. All right, so looking at the early game really quickly, obviously good defense by Dark. He really defended well. The Reapers couldn't get as much rotation as he wanted. I wouldn't have minded these Reapers like circling up the top a little bit more. I like the move forward to focus the Reaper, but Byun accidentally brings the Reaper back, and then he loses this one, does he? Or, I don't know. And I guess he just decides if there's 2 Queens and 7 Zerglings, I can't go in, and I don't want to run past the spine. But I understand that he was intimidated, and if Dark left those Zerglings there, would it have been a bad call, and was I overemphasizing? I still think it was probably worth headbutting up there once these guys healed. I could be overestimating. I think he needed to get in and do more damage, though. Dark was just so greedy behind it. Obviously, Dark expected his Reapers to try to run past here. That's why the Lings were there. It was a very good hold for Dark either way. We should give him a little bit more credit for how well he shut this down. Only losing a single Zergling up to this point. Hats off to Dark. All right, guys. Well, I was a little unfair to Byun at the start of that last game. We admitted that in the post-game analysis there. He didn't know the Zerglings weren't there. The Reapers were a bit damaged, and jumping up a double ledge, nowhere near the same as jumping up a single ledge. That's one of the things, like a lot of the old maps, the main base was on the same elevation as the natural. So rather than having to have this in-between ledge, the Reapers would just hop up and they're shooting you. Hop down, hop up, down. Whereas on these maps, you're like, hop up, you're already getting hit by the Queen. Hop up, the Queen's hitting you now, there's Zerglings hitting you. It's way more awkward getting in and out with Reapers. So Byun obviously got the Reaper nerfed on like 3 separate occasions. I think he also got the maps designed to just generally not be as Reaper friendly. If you guys want to go and experience fun maps for Reapers, go and watch Heavy Rain. Go look at Heavy Rain as a map. That map had a ledge about this size. Except this was all ground all the way around. So you could jump up, single jump on this entire ledge, or blink up it on any of this area. Every PvT was like Terran just building tanks and bunkers and just trying not to die to blink. It was hilarious. Reapers could go ham on Zergs. There was a special time in StarCraft, man. Maps do a lot to design and adjust balance and really strengthen or weaken certain strategies. Check it out, guys. Dark completely skipping Zerglings against the Command Center first. I love that Zergs have added this adjustment in, and I really don't know if the Command Center first actually pays off unless the Zerg just by default builds those 4 Zerglings. So I feel like it kind of breaks even, but if the Zerg still builds the 4 Zerglings, it's much better. So amazing adjustments from the pros on these big maps where the Terrans have started doing that. They just delay the production on those. Excuse me. And if they don't see a Reaper coming across the map, they just build drones instead. It's going to be a 2-1-1 follow-up for Byun, so he's going to go for the double medevac drop. Dark is going for a third and fourth queen. His third base is well underway, and Ling speed starts up, completely pulling off gas after that. Now, Data sees a map where Dark really struggles to expand beyond his fourth. Fourth base is already very vulnerable to two base pushes. Tanks back here are absolutely deadly. But it's really, as the game goes on, the fifth base here or up here that Zergs just keep losing over and over again. Every time we watch this map, the Terran 4 base feels unbreakable, and so is the Zerg to some extent. But then they both go to fifth bases, and whoever's got a bit of momentum or a bit more mobility is able to just deny base after base. And sometimes we see it really cool where like the Terran takes the bottom right corner, the Zerg takes the top left corner, and that does lead to some interesting dynamics. Now notice the Overlord sitting out front. He's going to go for it, guys. Overlord! Oh no, he's not on the pillar. Dark with a quick response. Is it enough though? No, it's not. Oh, he got caught being a bit naughty there, having a bit of a perv. He was watching that SCV get sweaty as it built that depot, making weird noises. For some reason, he was stroking his nip. His hand was under his shirt. Bit of a weird thing. Yes, Overlords do have nipples, for those who don't know. Don't ask me why, ask Abatha. I'm sure he has a reason. These Marines might get another Overlord, but can it get to the pillar? Oh, sneaky Overlord. Okay. Very sneaky Overlord. He might get that when he pulls back from the first pressure with these Marines. I like that he's already forcing Bane. Actually, I was going to say forcing Zerglings out, but Dark is completely disrespecting this. Dark's just like, you're not going to push in with that. And even if you do, my queens can handle it. You don't have medevacs yet. So really calm defense. And 8 more drones. Okay, Dark's being greedy as, man. There's greed, and then there's what Dark's doing right now. He needs to start more Zerglings right now. He's building 1 Overlord. He's going to like 60 workers almost. My lord. Oh, he's supply blocked. Dark. Oh, this is what we talk about with Dark being sloppy with his builds. Really awesome greed into supply block into death. Literally, I don't know if he survives this move. That's a lot of Marines, but oh, Byun's being coy with it, and he's going around with the drop. Well, the Queen's pretty far out of position, and there's no mobile units whatsoever. 16 Lings are building. Dark has way over-droned against this, which, if he doesn't take any damage, will be good for him. Byun's going to find out in a moment. Wait, there's no Zerglings? It's a lot of Queens. So Byun thinks there's Zerglings behind it, and the 9 Queens scare him off. Dark has just gotten away with murder. This is the beauty of Dark, guys. I talk about his build being a bit loose. Don't get me wrong. He didn't mean to get supply block. That was a mistake. But the rest of it was intentional, being this, greedy on the drones and defending with Queens for a while. So this is Dark just pressing, pushing the envelope and really showing us exactly how far you can actually press these advantages and this greed in these scenarios. This is what Raynor often does in this matchup as well. Now he's on nothing but Ling Bane production because this is a very scary push. Mass Queen at the front. No Lings down there. Gonna need to be quick on that transfuse. Oh, he's already lost 2 Queens. Oh, a bit slow on his transfuses. Byun needs to Dark needs to tighten things up. The Marines are smashing. Widowmine, watch out. Oh, great unburrow. And he's got to pull that Reddit point medevac back. No, he doesn't. Oh, man. Dark is getting smooshed here. Too much Ling Bane in the main. He needed support down here. And those Banelings don't find anything. Oh, man. Even more Banes coming. He's going to let the Widowmines handle that one. The Marines are very low, but he gets so many Queens. And he saves a bunch of the Marines as well. What an amazing trade for Byun. 3-to-1 efficiency. And he's got a 3rd command center behind it. That was a beautiful start for Byun. Dark just splitting his army a bit too much. All the Ling Bane in the main, all the Queens at the 3rd. Would have liked to see just about 15 Lings in the main, everything else at the front. Alright, good hot pickup. His units still need to heal up a little bit before they can contest the Lings in a frontal fight. If anyone can fight back from here, it's Dark. It's never over till it's over. When you put Dark or Raynor in a game and oh god, he's dead, you really need to see him with a stake in his heart, chop his head off, burn the corpse, weigh it under a frozen river, drown it, poison it 6 times, and then apparently, take some of his more valuable possessions and put them in a museum. So hundreds of years later, we can still look at them somewhere in Russia. And that's the only way to get him out of the game. Like, he's truly the Rasputin of Zerg. He's ridiculous. His important thing will one day be put on display, and we'll say, this guy was unkillable, man. Ling's going to the top. Dark defending for now. 64 drones. I still think Byun's very favored situationally. He's got good pressure, good damage. Units lost tab getting a little bit closer now, but Dark's getting towards the famous double macro hatch. Widowmine drop. Very good move for here. Nice. Oh, we tried to do a spore trick. Didn't quite get it in time, but nonetheless, making things difficult for Byun to actually get the damage. He'll just leave the Widowmine drop here until Dark's distracted. Ling Bane trying to come in. Doesn't really want to show that, though, until the Marines move across the map. Second factory is building a tech lab, still just pumping mines 2 at a time. And the Widowmine drop comes back in. I like this move, but I don't like that movement. Careful. Looks like he only got a single Zergling. Dark defusing these Widowmines very well. Only a single Zergling with the other one as well. Just a bit of a disruption, but no real damage. Byun's going to try to come in one more time. Same time, double drop of Marines going around the north. He's got 3 tech labs. The second factory coming in. Expect drilling claws to come in any moment. 2-2 has not started for Dark. Dark just made 24 Banelings. Uh-oh, Dark is like, hey, you've got 16 Marines that aren't at home. I'm going to shove this army in and smash. Byun has a bigger economy. He's got way better upgrades, but he's going to move out. He's going to move out as this comes in. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Wait. And he doesn't have any Widow Mines. Byun, watch out. There's so many Banelings. Oh, big Zergling hit on the north. And Dark, is he going to commit? I think he's going to commit. The Mad Lad is going to go for it. These Marines are out of space. There's too much Baneling. Too much Baneling. He's trying to pull back in the natural. Dark just shoving. And he saw that so many Marines were out of position. He's going to punish this. A move which probably wouldn't work if those 16 extra Marines were at home. But by the time that drop unloads and gets back, guess what? 31 SCVs go down. Dark says, what was that about 66 drones not being a good economy? Pig? Viewers? Haters? Byun fans? What was that? Just wait for the Terran to start moving out, wait for him to send a drop across the map, and then just smash a billion Ling Bane. Yes, my 2-2s later, but it doesn't matter. I've got way more money than him. All I need to do is stall out, work towards a 5th base. I'm back in the economic lead in this game. And that, indeed, is the case. He's done a very good job of it. He's still, of course, way behind in the upgrades. Byun can absolutely play back into this with that 4th orbital up, rebuilding his SCV count, but it just takes a long time. Terran does not have the same flexible economy of Zerg, or to a lesser extent Protoss, where you can chrono 4 or 5 Nexus and just rebuild 20, 30 probes in a minute. You can't, do a round of lava injects, build 15 drones, and just instantly resaturate a base. Terran has to build them one at a time, 12 seconds for each SCV. Of course, each command center can build 5 a minute. So you can build 15 workers in a minute, 15 workers in the next minute, but it's just a little bit slower to get them back up. Marine Marauder coming in on the bottom right side, going after those creep tumors, clearing up Dark's map vision. Dark hasn't even tried to get a 5th base. I told you earlier how that's a struggle for him on this map. Seems like he's decided if it's so difficult, why even bother? An accidental lair has been made on the front. No, that is actually the only lair. Oh, big Baneling connects though. And Byun is going to click the lair. He's going to click the lair. Oh, the transfuses from the high ground weren't enough. Byun takes out the only lair. And you know what that means? He's got 3-3, about 1/3 of the way complete. Dark can't start 3-3 for like the next 5 minutes because he has to remake a lair, then make an he's got an infestation at least, but then remake the hive, and then he can start his 3-3 upgrades. This is a very big spanner in the works. It means that Byun has just secured the upgrade advantage for the next immediate range of this game. He's adding more command centers, getting more SCVs, and trying to rebuild, making things difficult for Dark, who seems to be a little passive right now. Similar to Game 1, maybe he's decided this is the way to play against Byun. Just kind of sit back a little bit. Obviously, he had the economy advantage, but he's still down in supply. The units lost, the trading. I mean, the amount of Banelings he put into killing all those workers, at the end of the day, was it worth it? I'm not quite sure. 2-2 versus 2-2. Right now is not a bad time for Dark to fight in upgrades, but in terms of supply, Byun has a giant army. There's a decent number of Widow Mines. Ooh, not getting any huge shots just yet. The Marines pull off creep, and that means they can come back forward, saving a bunch of low hit point Marauders. Nicely done. It's drop on the south. I would have liked to see that drop at the same time, potentially. But, of course, that army's here. Get out of there. Tries to pull back, but he's going to lose a few Marines and a Marauder. 2 medevacs do escape. Army pushing that aside as well. Byun's going to go back in and re-drop on the right side while the army pushes the left. He's just parading. And +3 attack. It's not quite ready. Dark's still ready to fight this and hold on for a moment. But remember, Dark never had a 5th base. The Overseer tried to drag the Widowmine, but it got focused down. Watch out for the Boomies. The Zergling frontline getting cleaned up, and Dark cannot contend with that. The early Marine pressure got way too much damage, and even clearing out 31 SCVs, not enough to get Dark back in Game 2. Oh, right, all right, all right, guys. Let's go. Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark in the top right side. And I did drop that last map on one of the bigger maps. And this map's probably going to be favoring Mr. Terran player, who's loving his 2-Rax Reaper lately. Shopify Rebellion's Byun. Excuse me, guys. Just having a bit of a burp into the microphone. I'm a gentleman. This ledge is a single ledge, and it's also a wide ledge, guys. So remember, if you guys are trying to slide in a Reaper aggression, having a single step ledge that's quite wide is good. A wide set ledge provideth many opportunities. And that was that barracks one supply earlier than normal? Oh, he's doing a 1-Rax expand. Oh, okay, so Byun's going to build 2 Marines and try to kill the Overlord, and he's just going to go for a command center in a moment. He should send this SCV to the low ground, I believe. No, he's gonna do gas before CC. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a build. I guess if you don't get the gas before the command center, it's like so delayed. And he just wants to use this SCV to build the command center. Interesting, interesting. Fascinating build order here. So obviously he's delaying the gas a bit. I still think it's going to be a 3 command center opening for Byun. That's what it feels like. I worry that if he goes 3 command center, like Dark, you deny Dark scouting. It's kind of like denying Reyna's scouting, where they're like, oh, I can't see what you're doing. And most players are like, I'll play cautious and scout. Dark, I'll scout more. Dark and Reyna, when you deny their scouting, sometimes they just try to kill you. Like, they're like, oh, you're doing something clever and sneaky? All right, I'll just go Ravage a Ling all in or something. Like you've got to be wary denying scouting into a greedy build versus these YOLO chads. Now, he doesn't see the Overlord yet, and sneaking in there. Oh, no. Look at this Overlord. It's threading the needle right now. It's the slowest unit ever to thread its way. It's a stealth Overlord. He finally finds it. He finally finds it. Oh my god, it's gonna get out. It's gonna actually get out. This Overlord, Speed Racer Overlord right now. It's in its mobility chair. It's sticking up the middle finger over its shoulder at that Marine. And it's actually, I'm pretty sure this gets out of here. And it also just doesn't feel like that scary a build now that you've seen so much of what's going on. I don't think you're too worried about getting like SCV pull all in or anything like that as Dark. Really cool way to play. All right, what do we got? Reactor there, factory as well. Byun dropping a comment with a question mark. He's like, is Zerg just broken or what? Dark's like, dude, you went after a dude in a mobility scooter. You should feel bad. And of course, dropping the face. Is that meant to be a tear, that face, by the way? What's that face mean? I always forget what that face... because it's just meant to be a face. Is it meant to be like a crying face? I think it's a crying face. Any translators in the chat, let us know. Feel free to be creative and make up what you see. Though, if there's anyone who actually knows what it is, please let us know in the comments so we can read that. Maybe it's like squinty eyes, kind of like an annoyed face. Of course, someone in chat says it's not that. It's something that rhymes with rock. No, okay. Don't. They're like, yeah, everything's a rock. Yeah, absolutely. A big hard rock, indeed. Hellion's on the way. Looks like it's going to be a Hellion drop for Byun in the follow-up. I like that little Marine pressure. What this does is it just pushes Dark's vision back a little bit. Dark doesn't get to see that much of what's going on. It usually means laughter, people are saying in the chat. One of them said well handled, apparently, as well. Definitely feels like Byun hitting a supply block here is not great, but the depot finishes pretty soon after he hit it. And he does go for the armory. I was seeing continued Marine production. I was starting to wonder. So it's going to be 5 Marines, or 6 Marines in a medevac, and 6 Hellbats. Dark does not have a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren. His Zergling's going to be near useless, but he's going for 8 Queens. The problem for Dark is if he puts down more creep tumors, he's going to have very little transfuse energy. So if a few of these Queens put down more creep, which he's about to do there, that means it's even longer till he gets a transfuse. He's going to have 1 transfuse on this Queen, maybe 2 on that 1 Queen, but if that Queen goes down early, he's in trouble. All right, it's go time for Byun. He's waiting for 8? He's seriously waiting for 8 Hellbats? Why is he not going, guys? Oh, okay. He's hiding from the Zergling? And now he's going to go... Okay, yeah, he wanted to wait for the 8 Hellbats. He's boosting across the map. He wasted a bit of time with the boost because he was hiding from the Zergling. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right. Oh, man. Okay, Hellion's moving forward. The Marine drop coming forth as well. The Zerglings are not very useful versus the Hellbats, but if they can somehow flank and isolate the Marines from the Hellbats, that'll be good. The Queens are a bit clumped on that ramp. They want to pull back a little bit, and they want to try to focus the medevac. Dark holding his ground, but that means the medevac, oh, slow on the pullback there from Byun. On the other hand, Byun's getting good damage on these queens. Still a few more transfuses. This queen in the back, she's got so many, but she's missing a few of these transfuses. But I don't think it matters. It looks like he's broken the back of this push. Dark with a mass queen. He says, I'm very greedy on everything except my queen count. As long as I have a billion queens, and also, by the way, my name's Dark, so half the time, every single queen I have is on one control group. He's always got his emergency queen control group ready. So if there's ever anything that really surprised him, he's just like, hit that button, bring every queen to the front. And it's why Dark is so efficient at defending a lot of moves that kill other people. I'd like to see some Lings backstab a little bit more, but the wall-off is up. Extra barracks on the way, as well as a third command center there. Hellbat Banshee coming back in for round 2. Careful, you see the Lings are getting on the Marines. Careful, Byun. Byun lost 2 Marines there very quickly, and the Lings pulled back. Great moves by Dark. Banshee, got to be careful. Oh, that's a spine, not a spore. Guess he's got to wait for that spore crawler to finish there. There is a spore in each mineral line. Banshee will back off from that area. Try to get in between these. Remember, there is detection right there. Careful, mate. Ooh, almost loses it. Hellbat Marine still veering around, slowing down the creep spread with a combination of Hellions and Banshees. Very good move. Unfortunately for him, the creep tumor. Oh, it does go down. Nice moves there for Byun. Scans the left side, clears up the creep. He's trying to get himself in a corner where the Lings can't get him, but he wants to not fight the Queen, so he's trying to pull away, and the Lings try to hold him in place. Dark sacrifices his Lings and does take out most of the Marines and Hellbats, finally putting an end to this pressure. He's on 61 drones. He's got a 4th base on the way, and his 1-1 upgrades are a minute. They're about 80 seconds ahead of Byun, who's just started his. Banshee's going to come in and try and put some damage on the hatch, but don't want to lose him. And the macro hatcheries are going up. This is always the scary point. If you let Dark get any room to breathe, double macro hatch goes down. He's suddenly on 6 or 7 hatcheries. The amount of Ling Bane swarming out is rather wild. And it feels like because he's not as obsessive on perfecting his macro, he has that little bit more mental APM, that brain power, that attention to put towards the tactics and the strategy. Oh no, that spore moved over. Ambushes it. I'd like to see Byun send this Banshee home and just use it to defend from run-bys for the rest of the game. Dark going for a very brave Baneling morph, much like farting in the general direction of his opponent, showing a bit of disrespect there. And no doubt Byun can hear the echoes in his ear, saying that his mother smells of elderberries. But you know what? I think he can handle it. Byun's heard worse before. He's played Solar a bunch of times. He's actually dropping the insults on Solar in that match we cast last week. That was a really fun one. My God, I don't think that many people actually watched it, but oh my God, the ones that did, what a fun series of interactions that was back from the TLMC. Hellbat Marine tank Venevac moving down the right side. We've got the Hive going up for Dark right now. Byun's still got a decent supply, but he needs a few good fights here. And with Bane Speed not done, that window, well, it's going to close in a moment. Tank is actually pretty well positioned here. I always find this area tough to engage as the Zerg. You really want to flank with some Ling Bane. Dark is going to get prompted to go for a counterattack. There's no units out there right now. Byun is reinforcing the front. Oh, the Banshee, the single Banshee scares away that pressure. Byun also thinks about bringing those units there. He wants to hide the fact that he's reinforcing the front. Dark, I think, is going to collapse on this army soon. I wouldn't mind Byun pulling back to like down here into this little choke point, somewhere where he can't get flanked, because if Dark can bring units down from the south side and sandwich the tanks, that'll be a big problem. That tank is beautifully positioned, though. I'd like this other tank to also get over there, just because it's a bit more open. But, oh, Ling Bane thinking about doing a run-by. I don't know if it's big enough to really catch him off, though. He's got a lot of units there, but that third is wide open. Third is wide open. Uh-oh, Byun, be careful. Oh, he's got to run those SCVs. Byun a little bit too slow on the split. The Marines come forward, but oh no! Oh, Dark gets a big boom. The medevacs quickly save a few of those Marines at the last second. They're going to re-unload at the third, but he's already lost so many units. The Marine Hellbat shoving through the Queens and the 4th base at the same time. Dark's back to 3 base. Byun will defend on his 3rd, and the Banshee getting insane value. This might be okay for Byun, even though he's lost 20 workers. But unfortunately for him, there's a problem. There's a new 4th up on the left side of the map. Dark is still on 4 bases. 4 bases versus no mining on the 3rd. That's a big problem for the Terran. Even if the Orbital Command Center survived, he's got to get more damage. This is only 14 Marines right now. 13 Marines, in fact. That is not going to allow him to really cause much more damage. Dark is also ahead on the upgrades. 2-2 versus 1-1. +2 started for weapons, +2 armor has not. Byun is in a bit of a tough spot. He's still got the tank in reserve. This is also a good tank spot. That's also a fantastic tank spot. He's going to try and elevate this area. Meanwhile, that Banshee at home is going to get a lot of value, but can he actually defend the Banelings? That's the big problem. The answer, I think it's no. There's too many Banes coming in. The tanks are falling. The Banshee's not even fighting right now. She's a bit of a lazy Banshee pilot. Her engines might be screaming, but right now, the real screams are those of the SCVs that are going down in that mineral line. And the Medevacs, the Marines, the Hellbats will try to punish Dark for this, but that's so many Queens with so much transfuse. Dark shutting down the Medevacs, which of course means there's not much healing, not much way out. Byun trying to evacuate, but it's in disarray, and the tanks unable to really weigh in on this fight until the Marines are gone. And of course, tanks on their own, an easy prize for the Zerglings to take care of. Byun's gonna have to tap out. Dark! An exceptional masterclass of Zerg versus Terran. Smashing it. All right, guys, he's up 2-1. Let's see if he can win himself another tournament here. It's Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark on Tropical Sacrifice. And his opponent, a big fan of the CC first, Byun. Now, that build in the last game was a bit bizarre. It was a decent little Hellbat timing, but when you don't have Marauders to catch the Queens out of position off creep, it does feel it lacks a little bit of the oomph. It's kind of like, it's just a raw numbers of how well do the Queens do versus how much, can you get through them with the number of Hellbat Marine you have. And in the modern age, it feels like the Zergs are so good at massing Queens so early on that it's very difficult to actually overwhelm them there. So not an unsurprising situation. I think it was Rainer who was talking about that Hellbat timing and said that's a trash Hellbat timing. I don't know why you'd ever do it. After, I think Maru tried it on him one game and he slapped it down and got way ahead and won that game. And he said, well, I think Maru did better openings, I'd really struggle, but I think that opening's really outdated and doesn't work anymore. It's something to that effect. I could be misremembering the exact game, but I'm pretty sure Rainer was saying that at one point. Whereas obviously the Marauder build never really goes out of fashion because there's always the chance those Queens are out on the edge of creep, spreading, you boost in and tag them with the concussive and they can't get back to safety as your Hellbats run in. Very different scenario to the last push, which didn't quite work out for him. And Byun did end up way behind as a result because it was a very committed Hellbat attack. And he kept some units alive and still pressured, but definitely didn't find that value that he needed to roll that one through. Big thanks for those supporting live on the Twitch stream, by the way. Just a quick shout out here in the middle of this one. We like to just end the games as quickly as possible at the end so you guys just get StarCraft content. But while there's downtime in the openings, once again, the 2-on-1 opening, if you guys are watching on YouTube, please check out the Patreon. Consider supporting. If you can spare a few bucks. If you don't worry about it. But there's some cool perks, some goodies you can get, and some special rewards, including replay packs on those tiers. So check out the description below the stream. And a massive thanks to everyone who's been supporting it. Of course, especially you guys know who you are. Those on the Leviathan tier and the D-Town Express Conductor tier. Thank you very much to all of yous. For now, let's continue the action here as we've got Starport Factory Barracks coming in. 2 bases full. 3rd base on the way as well. 14 drones. And looks like Dark is just back on gas here. Droning up nice and hard. And I'm very curious to see, because Data C, Dark droned, was it 56 workers, I think? Before building any fighting units other than Queens versus this same sort of opening. And with that one, remember, there was like the Marines moving out well before the medevac was done. Which I think he might do again, or he might just hide them. Hide back those Marines, then join up even more Marines and medevacs afterwards. One of the cool things you can do with any sort of 2-1-1 build, guys, if you're not focusing on rushing the command center, you can build a 3rd barracks here. And as soon as your first 2 medevacs are done, you can lift that off, build a new reactor for itself, and have a 3rd barracks on a reactor. It just allows you to get an insane amount of Marines out of the map early. Now, the Marines get spotted by a Zergling, so they're just having no shame. The Overlord, technically, you can see the vision. The Overlord could try to run to the right side and try to just get a bit away before the medevacs are here. This is why a lot of Terrans will do exactly what he just did, which is spread the Marines kind of around or move them up so that, because of this is a high ground, you can see it creates a little bit of a block in the vision. Medevacs come down, cleaned it up, and it looks like pushing across the map. Double Evo chamber behind this, 54 drones on the way. He's supply blocked again. Are you kidding me? Dark, how are you supply blocked again on 74 every time this push comes, and he's only building 1 Overlord? Dark, what are you doing, buddy? Build more Overlords. If he loses even like 1 Overlord here, he can't make any units. He builds 16 Zerglings, finally starts a few more Overlords. Okay, like sloppy moments against this pressure seem to be his middle name. He just relies on the Queens. And I mean, they should defend. Okay, he's got a big line of Queens. As long as he's quick on the transfuse, he'll be okay. And Finally, 2 Overlords are popping, but he needs to keep that Overlord production going very quickly. Lair's on the way. He's gone very quick 1-1 upgrades. I really feel this is Dark being quite greedy. Like, no Baneling Nest. He's just relying on the 9 Queens. Ooh, a few of the Queens went back to try and inject. The power of Byun's build is it does stop Dark from injecting. Notice none of his hatcheries have injected for the last minute. So this is big. It slows down Dark's lava. This is what I talk about is the indirect damage is often the biggest damage against Dark. The Zerglings are getting gunned down, and he saves 8 of those Marines. Good plays by Byun. I think that was okay. But once the pressure dies down, that's when Dark gets back to injecting all of these hatcheries. And this is almost why he banks more lava, more minerals, and is able to build macro hatcheries so early. It's because his queens aren't injecting, so he doesn't have the lava for it. Whoa, is this a 2-base push? Oh, I didn't even realize it's a 2-base push following this up. So Byun's opened up an avenue to siege tanks down here and start pushing down from this angle. Oh, wow. This is a very... And he can put tanks there where they basically can't get reached. Oh, that's a very good tank position. I think a tank there would be nice, but I guess he wants to reach to the high ground as much as possible. How do you deal with this? Oh, he's got a Roach Warren. Guys, I don't know how Dark knew this was coming. Maybe he just assumed. He's got a Roach Warren, which means he can make Ravages to buy all the tanks down. With Ling Bane, there is no way to deal with this. But if you can make Ravages, you can shut it down. Now, he's seen the Roaches. Hopefully, Byun realizes and pulls back his siege tanks. Otherwise, they are sitting ducks. They need to, at the very least, spread out, or the Ravages are going to shut this down. Dark with a genius move. You very rarely see someone add Ravages here. Byun, though, realizing what's up. He's going to pull back. Smart moves here by Byun. Oh, no, his tanks. They're stuck. He's got to get out of there. Apparently, they can't get out of that position. He has to pull back his 2-base push, not able to find the victory. He's adding more Marines and Marauders, or 5 barracks right now. Still a big, scary army, but the thing is, if he can't work the ledge, he has no push path. Clearing this creep is going to take way too long, and 2-2 and Bane Speed are on the way. Byun starts a 3rd command center, but sharp intake of breath. That's what you just heard there. That's me worrying for how do you get anything done with this push in the next minute. Because if you commit on creep, those Ravages will buy all your tanks. If you don't have tank siege, the Banelings are going to give you trouble. There's no Bane Speed just yet. If there's ever a time to force the issue, it's in the next 30 seconds before Bane Speed is done. Arguably in the next minute and a half before 2-2's done. It's hard, though. This is a very awkward position for Byun. I like the way he's cleared the creep. He's waited for it to recede. The Queens are coming down, though. Baneling Speed is only about 20 seconds away. The Bio stims forward. He wants to force Dark to fight. Dark gives up ground. Dark is such a mature player. He knows that Byun is desperately wanting him to engage into the tanks. Dark's going to go for it pre-Bane Speed. I think he may have pulled the trigger a little early. Bio's going down in the first tank, but oh my god, the Bio just savaged the Ling Bane. Dark, I think he pulled the trigger a little too early. The tanks are very far back. Finally, the Ravages start to take some tank shots. A bunch of Ravages fall, and they both survive. Only one siege tank went down, I believe. There's another army coming across the map. If that was already here, I legitimately think this is game over in Byun's favor. I think that Byun can absolutely break him with the next fight. The Ravages looking for the snipes, not able to get it. Dark, I think he thought Baneling Speed was finished, and by the time he realized it wasn't, it was too late, and he was already committed. That was a big mistake for Dark. They were way too clumped up. Slow Banelings, no match for siege tanks. Just deciding to slow down is Byun. He's saying, let's just try and keep denying the 4th base. I don't need to do anything more than that. It's a lot of Ling Bane. Oh, not many Banes and Ravages, actually. I don't think you can engage into this as Dark. Really feels to me like Byun has built himself a position where he can transition off. He's got double eBay armory on the way. 3rd orbital is making. He's rallying workers to his 3rd. What an absolute sicko, man. Byun finding a way to make this work despite the clever Ravager adjustment. My god, there's a lot of Ling Bane, though. It's a lot of Ling Bane, and he spreads them out very well so the tanks can't get the big shots. The Bile's spreading across the Medivacs and the tanks. The Ravagers overwhelm the tanks, and Dark, with +2 Carapace kicking in at the start of that fight, overwhelms. The upgrade advantage does make a big difference, and that is a huge win because now he can push back Byun. Byun doesn't have any tanks on the high ground or anything like that. He's trying to hold the ramp here, trying to unload more units. He's going to have to pull back from the Biles. Good defense of that high ground area. But Dark now has control over the game. His 4th base survived. He's building a 5th. 2-2 starts up for Byun, but he's way behind on those upgrades. Continuing to pick off a few Lings and Banelings. The masses of Zerglings coming in behind, though, against a player with no ball of Marines is very scary. You need a big ball of Marines with equal or better upgrades to deal with Zerglings very well, right? Otherwise, you need Hellbats or Widowmines. He's on mostly Marauder tanks, so he's set up to deal with Mass Roach, Ravager, Baneling well, but not Lings. Dark, what are you... He thinks there's Widow Mines on creep. There are not. Apparently, he just saw something in the creep. Maybe he has a fleck of dust on his eyes or something. I don't know what's happening there. Dark apparently seeing stuff that does not exist. We've all had that moment where you think there's a blur or something. But anyway, Marauder's trying to pull on back. The Queens are there. 4th Command Center is on the way, as well as 3 more barracks. Byun just going to try and rebuild that unit count. Dark, though, is in the driver's seat. He is the daddy right now. And he's going to choose where and when this car goes. Byun says, oh, are we going to a macro game? Well, when are we getting there? Dark says, we'll get there when we get there. Byun not happy with that answer. Hopefully Dark will at least stop at some McDonald's, get some Maccas for him on the way. Ooh, the Marauders getting picked off. 3 Marauders, that's an expensive loss. Byun's got to find a way to kick the back of the driver's seat here. Really, he's got to find a way to annoy Dark and throw him off. Maybe he'll drive into a pole on the side of the road or something. You know, like, there's got to be a way you just distract him, because it's a very scary situation. Byun's deciding to go triple reactor. Wow, guys, so he's only got 2 tech labs on his barracks, right? Oh, he's got 3. 4? Wait. He accidentally built 4 tech labs early on when he was meant to build reactors. What? That's why his marine count sucked. Dark built the wrong add-ons early on in this game, and I'm just realizing it now. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes you just take things for granted. His marine production has been way less than it should have been earlier on. He couldn't spend his money correctly. Oh, no. You want to have... Oh, Sorry, Byun. Did I say Dark? I meant Byun. Byun. That's... Oh, man. So Byun... Literally, at most, you want to have 2 tech labs, which is a cute adjustment versus a player who has a lot of Ravagers and Banelings to have more Marauders, and 3 reactors. Normally, you have 1 tech lab, 4. He had 4 tech labs, 1 reactor. So he's only now able to get his marine production up with his last 3 barracks. Oh, man. Byun making an absolutely disastrous mistake. That's why his push wasn't reinforced as strong as it should have been, and he would have been able to probably win the game otherwise with that. Oh, a hotkey, maybe fat fingering the hotkey or something like that. I don't know how that happened, but definitely not ideal. Massling Bane in the top, getting ready for a run by. He's going to come with some Ravages, some Banes, plenty of bio to defend. He's got to run this base away, though. Byun, get out. You saw this attack coming. Byun, run the SCVs. Byun's a little slow to react. Dark attacking 2 sides at once. That's the way to do it. Banelings and Lings ransacking his mineral line. Dark a little slow to respond there. He's trying to defend both sides at once, but the worker line should have preemptively evacuated, and the reason is, guys, he saw with this Widow Mine what was coming. That's a big mistake for Byun. He should have kept those workers alive. If so, I think he'd be in a very playable position, but losing 24 workers when the Zerg already has this much map control is a frightening prospect. If you threw me into the game right now versus Dark and said, well, it's okay, it's not Dark, we're going to put, you know, maybe like a Masters 2 player, Masters 1, some of you are a bit favored versus, I'd still be like, oh god, how do I win this? I have no idea. Like, what to do. Obviously, Byun's way better at late game. He can try to turtle to ghosts, but he's got to keep running the workers. Here we go. He's got Widow Mines there. They could get some big boomies, but the good spreadies on the Zerglings. Parasitic Bombs in the Medevacs. Byun has to spread with the Medevacs and stutter step with the Marines. Heavy Marauder counts there, but unfortunately, a lot of the Marines were out front of the Marauders. The Orbital up on the top left taking damage. That's why we're centering the camera here. The last wave of Ling Bane goes down. You do not want to lose that command center. Another 13 workers go down, and even though the units... you know, yeah, Byun can't contest from that. You can't be trading evenly when you're this far behind. The next wave was 100% going to crush him. Oh, man. Chat's telling me Byun doesn't make mistakes. But guys, this was a disastrous mistake that he made much earlier in this game. We're going to go back and take a look. This is a totally normal setup at this point. Let's take a little check. Did he swap the barracks around? So he built a barracks on the reactor. So he had 2 barracks on a reactor, 1 on the tech lab, which seems pretty standard. But I think those 2 both building tech labs has to be a mistake. Because that was well before he even saw the Roach Warren. He had not spotted the Roach Warren there that was about to finish. Let's check this. I don't think he spotted any roaches. There's no roaches on the field, I believe, when he commits to these 2 tech labs. And 3 tech labs is way too many. 1 tech lab is okay there to get 2 tech labs, 1 reactor. But to go that heavy on Marauders is crazy. And he starts 2 reactor. Wait! He started 2 reactors. He sees a roach. He cancels them and builds tech labs. Dark mind gamed him. So what happened is he thought at this point it was going to be pure Roach Ravager. He assumed these upgrades were 1-1 range carapace and that there was no Baneling Nest. Little did he know, there was indeed a Baneling Nest coming in. It was melee upgrades, and it was just a few Ravagers to complement him. So Dark doing such a confusing mix of builds absolutely ruined Byun's mindset. GG, well played. That's absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for the support, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Have a great one. Goodbye and good night.